Hey there, YouTube fans. Hey there, YouTube fans. How you going? All right, so we're going to look at the shared value residency or the shared value visa permit here for Russia, right? I'm using my Saramonic mic, by the way, for myself. Let's see. So the countries were actually announced, and let's see, temporary residence permit without quotas and language exam. Okay, so the president of the Russian Federation, Putin, has signed a decree on 19th of August, I believe it was, that nationals from these countries can come for a shared values visa. And at the top of the list, Australia, yay! Albania, Andorra, Bahamas, United Kingdom, the whole European Union. Yeah, 27 countries, including Italy. So I'm celebrating because I'm citizens of both of those countries. Iceland, Canada, Liechtenstein, Micronesia, New Zealand, blah, blah. United States of America, Japan, all those countries there, right? I will put a link in the description of this video. So that's those countries, right? And let's see, and then so nationals from countries in which neoliberal values are promoted on state level to immigrate to Russia by allowing such foreign nationals to apply for a temporary residence permit, a 3-year permit. So first of all, there's I think it's a 90-day private visa, and then you can apply for a temporary residence permit. And there's no quota. There used to be a quota on how many people would come in. You can start a business, opportunity to conduct business in Australia. There you go. In Russia, sorry. Work access, no exam. So there's no Russian language exam, history or law exam required for the temporary residence permit. Okay, and access to healthcare. Now, if we read more, so in case the country of your citizenship is on the list, you'll be able to apply for a 3-month private visa, essentially an immigrant visa, which previously didn't exist in Russian legislation. Such visa would be issued by the Russian consulate in your country. There's one in Sydney and Brisbane in Australia. I've normally dealt with the Sydney Russian consulate. Upon your request and provision of required application and relevant documents. Unlike other visas, you don't need to have an invitation letter or voucher. That's great. From the Russian side, every family member should file a separate visa. Right, okay. Once you enter Russia, you'll have 7 days to register yourself and the place where you stay, and 3 months to apply for a 3-year temporary residence permit without a quota, and 3 months to apply. Yeah, so it's a 90-day initial visa to apply for a 3-year temporary residence permit. There used to be a quota, okay, and 3 months that you'll have to file TRP is sufficient time to make the application, provided you're properly prepared. Government processing time for filing the TRP is 4 to 4.5 months. That means that if you're in the country apparently for the 3 months and your temporary, like your private visa expires, it doesn't matter, because as long as you've applied for the 3-year temporary residence permit, you're still covered, because they're processing your application. Yeah, see, after filing, you can stay in Russia without leaving, regardless of the fact that your visa will expire. TRP will allow you to be employed in Russia without a work permit, register as an individual entrepreneur, and conduct business activity without creating a legal entity, and obtain public medical care. After 8 months from the date you collect temporary residency, you're entitled to apply for permanent lifetime residency. Russian language, history, law test is no longer required to apply for the temporary residency, but it would be to apply for the permanent residency, apparently. That was a major issue For many, understandably, you'll have to pass a Russian language, history, law test only when you're applying for permanent residency, you see, but you'll have almost 3.5 years to learn the language. By the way, for some of us, it's really difficult, and I don't know if I could even get it in 3 years to learn how to speak Russian and learn all this history and law. I don't know if I can do it. I guess you could reapply until, I read somewhere that after 60, you don't have to do all of that. So in my case, I could look at reapplying if I wanted to continue living there, for example. To apply for citizenship under current laws, you will need to reside in Russia based on permanent residency for 5 years. But that's the current laws. That's not this particular visa, apparently. Now, I think we'll close that one. And then there's more info here. Yeah, here we go. So, how do you prepare? Check passports. Ensure that all family members have valid travel passports and enough blank pages to obtain a visa, TRP and temporary resident visa. It's advisable to have 4 to 5 blank pages. Now, this is important. Apostille documents. Apostille the following documents in your country of citizenship: your birth certificate, marriage certificate if appropriate, and police or background checks. They probably also need to be they may need to be translated. That's something to check with your consulate in your country, your Russian consulate. Sale of property. When selling property or other assets, keep all the documents. Confirm the source of funds. Avoid bringing vehicles and precious metals. Don't bring vehicles or precious metals. You'll have to pay 30% customs duty. Money transfers is a nightmare. I did do another video on there. If I understand correctly, Corona Pay seems to be the best one in Russia to do anything like that, but I'm not on the ground there, so that's quite a bit of a nightmare, frankly, to get your money from other countries, because Russia was banned from the SWIFT system, international money transfers. So that, frankly, is a bit of a nightmare. But I have done another video on there from a Russian YouTuber. Go back on my videos, please, and see if that will help. Plan carefully. This could be a one-way journey. Your government may not be happy about it. I know the Australian government is not happy that you would even spend time there or holiday there, let alone live there. Now, what do you do when you get there? Ensure registration at your place of residence. This is quite normal. Secure a place to stay where the landlord agrees to register you. This must be done within 7 days of your arrival. If you initially stay at a hotel, the hotel will register you, but only for the duration of your stay. Get a Russian SIM card. Yes, I've done that before. Good idea. I got one in St. Petersburg. That was fairly straightforward with help from somebody who, I think she spoke English. Open a bank account. So if you have a Russian bank account like Sberbank or Sber, one of my favorite banks there, then you can use a MIR card, MIR card, in the actual country. They're useless outside of Russia, though. You need a MasterCard or a Visa card outside of the country. And you'll need to complete medical tests, undergo the required medical tests when you're applying for the temporary residence permit, like HIV, blood, urine, to apply for a temporary residence permit. And that's done in the country. That's done in Russia, for example, in Moscow. And I think there was, yeah, no, that's right. You register somewhere near the Kazansky railway station to register your the Ministry of Internal Affairs is somewhere near the Kazansky railway station. Consult an immigration lawyer. That's up to you. I've done a lot of this stuff myself, but I am a qualified social worker. I think that's the main things I wanted to cover. It's just under 10 minutes. I'll leave a link in the description, and I'll leave it there. I hope that helps you and me, and I'll please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Teach us out. God bless.